Okay, so now that we're ready to export, I'm going to go ahead and go to File, and let's go down to Export Selection. Save this out as an OBJ. So I'll create a new folder for this, and I'll call this to ZBrush. Actually, let's go one up and have that folder there. So let's go to ZBrush, so I can just make sure I'm keeping track of the files that I'm passing back and forth. I'll call this Griffin. Topo done. Alright, now let's go over to ZBrush, and I'm going to load my file. Alright, so here's our original file. Next, I'm going to append in a Start 3D. Let's go ahead and import our OBJ. And we want to make sure that this is exactly in the center, that everything's symmetrical. And it shouldn't be. It should be slightly off. This is off to the right. So I'm going to go to Deformation. Let's go ahead and undock those preferences. And let's say Unify. It's going to shrink it down just fine, but it's also going to place it back on the world center. I'm going to turn on my transparency. Got my transparency turned on. Let's go to Deformation. Let's go to Size, and I'm just going to scale this up, and then I'm going to have to visually get it close. Let me go ahead and turn on my symmetry now. Line up on the beak. And I'm looking at my distances here, and I'm going to go ahead and scale up off my beak until I hit near my silhouette. So there's not a huge amount that I need to project here, because I don't want to project the wings, because this is just not going to project well, and I'm going to have to resculpt that out anyways. What I'm really trying to capture is the shape of the legs, the body. I left the feet, and the tail I didn't really sculpt out completely. So I did that on purpose so that I wouldn't have the issue when I came back into ZBrush. What I want to check is I want to check the shape of the eyes. I want to make sure that's close. The tongue I'm not going to project, but I got a guideline there for when I sculpt that out. I know what I want to do, which is important. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to make our polygroups. So we can make some quick selections here. So the things that I don't want to project, I want as separate polygroups. So let's go ahead and select the wings, Control-Shift-X. We want those all the way up until they hit the body. So right there, Control-W. Let's bring everything else back. The feet I don't want to project. I want to make sure I have that edge loop all the way around. It also helps to turn on double-sided display so we can see both sides of the mesh, so I'm going to turn that on. Alright, Control-W. Let's go to the back feet as well. Shift and Alt here. Control Shift and Alt here. Let's invert that. Make sure we got the same thing on both sides. Control W. Let's go for the tail now. Hold down Control Shift and Space Bar to position this. Control W. Alright, next we want to protect the tongue. Control Shift X, let's grow that out to the base of the tongue. I think that's the last one, yep. Control W. Then we want to protect our cavities. So, let's look at this with the side view. Switch over to the select lasso. Get rid of that guy. Get rid of that. Looks like we have a tiny little edge ring here. Get rid of that. And then Control W. Let's do the same thing for the nostrils. Actually shrink that selection, Control Shift S. Just want that back plate. Alright, and you know what, let's do the same thing here. So I'm going to Control Shift tap on this, Control Shift S, Control W, let's invert the selection. And I'm going to go ahead, switch back to select rectangle. ZBrush is not liking me today. Alright, Control Shift tap here. We'll get to that in a second. Might be easier just to go ahead and redo that selection. Look at that. Missed that on the bottom of the tail. Alright, so I'll go ahead and hit Control W and I'll redo the nostril. Bring everything else back. That was so that the edge of the nostril would be the same polygroup as well as the inside of the eye would be a separate polygroup. Alright, so back over here again. Control Shift S, Control W. There we go. Alright, now for any little additions we need to do with the Z modeler. So for the Z modeler, I'm going to work on, actually we do have one more cavity to deal with. That is the cavity inside the mouth. I want that as a separate polygroup too. So Control Shift S. So that's Control Shift and Alt. Let's go ahead and hide the tongue. Control Shift tap on that. So now we just have the interior cavity. It looks like we're missing, oh, that's part of the tongue. There we go. Hit Control W there now. Alright, bring everything else back. Now what we're going to do is we're going to keep everything a separate polygroup to start with, like all this stuff, and then eventually we'll modify this when we're getting ready to reproject. But I want to go to the Z modeler first. And I'm going to use the QMesh function, and I'm going to say by polygroup all. So let's go ahead and bring that in. So I'm going to make this a little deeper. And let's go ahead and scale those. Don't let me, I don't think I want to do it that way. Might do this with mask. Let's go into a transpose mode. Control tap on the eyes. There we go. Let's turn on our local symmetry so it stays in place. And I'm just going to scale that in. There we go. All right, for the nostrils, QMesh. I'm going to bring those in. Let's go ahead and go to move. And just bring those back. Let's see how that's going to move in like that. And not crazy about that. Let's do that by the whole polygroup. So move, polygroup all. There we go. That's a little better. I just want to make sure it's moving into the interior. Ah, that's a problem. Let's go ahead and make these a separate polygroup, polygroup single poly. There we go. Just make these a separate polygroup. There we go. I think it's more visibly different. All right, go back to move, polygroup all. I have to hold down Shift to move it freely. Move mode, Control tap on that polygroup. Let's scale it in. I'm going to use the transpose move. ZBrush move is, I don't know, it's problematic. I mean, it works great for some things, like when I'm doing hard surface stuff, but in situations like this, I think the transpose move moves a little bit better. And we're going to end up sculpting that out anyways, but I just want to give it a start. There we go. All right, now let's go ahead, hold down Control Shift and tap on the body, invert that, and actually, you know, we're going to leave that all separate polygroups because you know what, I want to use those polygroups later on. I was going to make them one polygroup, but I think we'll be able to do our selections just fine from here. So the first thing I'm going to do, let's go to solo mode and let's turn off our transparency. All right, now let's look at what's visible here. I want only the body showing. I'm going to hide the eyes. I'm going to hide the tongue. And actually, I can pretty much just delete those. But, all right, so here we are. We have only these two visible. Now I'm going to turn on solo mode, and I'm going to project the details from this guy onto this guy. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to do it subdivision by subdivision. And you're going to have to follow this very closely or you're going to end up with some major issues. So, Control, tap on the body. That's going to mask off everything but the body. Go to Project. Click on Project. All right, everything is going to nudge into place. You want to watch out for the eyes. All right, so I think I might expand that just to protect it better. I thought we could get away with just having it here, but I don't like what's going on there. Let's invert that.